Today, I got that call that every single business owner out there has absolutely dreads, and that is my employee called and told me that they'd been in an accident. Now, the first thing that goes through your mind is oh my goodness, is everybody is okay? Are my employees okay? Are the other people okay? Is there anything going on? And then the other stuff kind of piles on. What am I going to do about them? Is my equipment tore up? Is my vehicle tore up? How am I going to get all these deliveries done? What am I going to do? How am I going to make all this work? Well, I've been through it, and I can only tell you one thing, that the prevention is worth a ton. Trying to make sure that you don't get into these situations is so much easier than making sure that you figure it out once you've got into them. So what you need to do is come up with a plan and try to help your drivers to make sure that they're doing everything that they could do to keep on top of their driving skills, to keep on top of the task at hand, which is to drive the equipment safely from your shop to the customer, or from customer to customer, and make sure they get it delivered on a timely manner and everything is intact. Now, what you need to do is to get with your drivers and make them understand that their utmost focus and attention has to be on the driving, because they have a lot of responsibilities on them. And as a driver and a commercial driver, and in a situation where they're doing this, they are vulnerable to all kind of stuff. They're on the road so much more than an average person, because they are literally doing these deliveries. So they need to make sure that they're focused and doing what they need to do, not only what they're doing, but also everything that's going on around them, to make sure that they're not putting into a situation where they're being placed in danger by something else or someone else. A pre-departure focus drill is probably one of the biggest things that you can do. Make sure your drivers get everything out of their system before they climb into that cab. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if they need to eat breakfast, make sure they eat breakfast. If they have to, you know, make sure that all the equipment is in there, so that they're not worrying about having, did I forget something, or what. Make sure that you have a checklist and everything is loaded correctly and is in there on time, the way that it's supposed to be, in order, so they don't have to worry about that. Make sure that the vehicle is the way that it should be. Everything has been checked, the tire pressure, the fluid levels, there's gas in the vehicle, everything is the way it is, everything is secure, everything is where it should be, so that they're not worrying about that. And doing an inspection of your vehicle should be part of what they should be doing, so that they have that confidence, not just that you said it was, but they also know that it was because they checked it themselves. They need to also make sure that their equipment is secure, so there's not stuff jostling them within the vehicle that's going to distract them. You should have rules for your drivers, that they cannot be on the phone while they're driving. Now, this is a law, so I don't know why this would be such a major you know upheaval in anyone's business, because literally it's across the board as a law. You can't be on the phone. You can't be distracted driving. So they need to either do something to make sure that they're getting the job done. At the same time, they can't be in a situation where they're on that phone and they're distracted. So having a co-driver helps, but also making sure your driver needs to make phone calls when they're in the stop position. If they stop to get a snack or gas, or even at a customer's house, before they go to the next one, they need to program their GPS. They need to make phone calls to you and to the next customer, let them know that they're on the way. Everything needs to be handled from that safe position, not a position on the road where they're going down the road and they're trying to text or call a customer or call you or whatever. And that means on your side, as a business owner, if you're kind of dispatching, you need to make sure that you're also doing your part. Don't call your drivers constantly and distract them, because they've got to answer your calls. So you know that needs to be handled some other way, by having them call you every time that they complete an event, and that way they can check in and you can kind of check that off your list. Make your drivers aware that weather changes, and that they need to make sure that they have the preparedness that they need to deal with weather. If it's going to rain, they need to be able to slow down. If there's winds or things like that, there may be stuff in the roadway, there may be other crashed vehicles. If there's construction going on, that could be an issue. All of these things need to be taken into consideration and give them plenty of time. When you schedule your routes, you need to make sure you're in a position where you schedule enough time between each one so they're not rushing from one to one. And if anything happens, it totally blows up your whole day and creates a situation where they're trying to figure out how to get all these other deliveries done. And we all know that if you have, a few deliveries lined up, if one of the first couple deliveries, something goes wrong with that, it's like dominoes. Everything goes down after that, and you're in a situation where everybody's late for that. So what you need to do is have a situation where you have a contingency, or another driver can step in and take some of the load, or you can do many other things. But time is the biggest thing. Make sure you have plenty of time for your drivers and that they have plenty of time to do what they need to do. Um, be clear with your drivers. And let them know what the rules are. I have a GPS and also cameras inside my vehicles for a lot of reasons, and I let my drivers know that the reason why that I have it in there, one, it works as security for them, but it's also a situation where if something goes on, I know what's going on, so they need to make sure that they're being, you know, following the rules. Now, this isn't something where you're trying to be, micromanage, or you're being tyrannical over your employees about, but they need to understand that they are being managed. They are they have an expectation of a performance, and they're following that expectation. And if they're not, you know about it because you're watching it and you're seeing what's going on. There's tons of vehicles, cameras that you can get out there. Some of them are cheap, some of them are more expensive, and the price is will cover whatever you got. So check those out and make sure you have those kind of things as well, and it definitely helps. Um, and finally, the last thing I could probably tell you is just tell your drivers to stay away from danger. If they see a driver that's acting up, that's doing a road rage incident or something like that, stay away from them. Put on your brakes, change your lane, get away from them. Don't engage. Don't get in a situation where you're dealing with someone like that. You have a job to do. You have something that you're supposed to do. Do that. Don't worry about this other driver. Don't, lose your temper and get into a situation where because you will lose every single time. I hope these help, guys, and I hope that you guys will give me a thumbs up and a subscribe and let all your friends know about this so we can keep bringing these to you and keep helping you with your business. Thanks a lot for your information. My driver was fine. We got the van fixed, and we got all the deliveries done. So I appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time.